Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper Purpersen and today we are going to talk about acne prone skin. So we are going to talk a little bit about Accutane and we are going to talk about Retin A. And firstly, what is the difference between those two? Well, that is that Accutane is something that you are taking internally, and the other one, the Retin A, is something that you use externally, so something that you are smearing onto your skin. So what is it? Well, it is a synthetic form of vitamin A. So it's a very potent form. So it is actually in the retinoic acid form. So it is active straight away. Where if you are taking something like a vitamin A as a supplement, it has to be worked in the body in order to become retinoic acid. So Accutane, there are a lot of issues with Accutane. Yes, it does help someone, but it also has some very unpleasant side effects, and one of them is that your skin will be not just a little bit dry, it will be very, very dry, and other parts of your body will be very, very dry as well. And there are some issues that you have to think about if you wanted to be pregnant and stuff like that, because it will have an impact on that. So what can you do if you don't want to use Accutane? Well, you can get vitamin A through your diet instead. So what I have noticed is that when I eat liver, then my skin becomes much more clear. I don't have so many issues with my pores and stuff like that. It is not that I have had huge issues with my pores, but I have seen on others that when particularly when they are eating calf's liver, then it has a strong effect on the pores. They kind of like becomes more tight and they clear up somehow. Not that it was acne prune or something like that, but just in general the look of the pores started to shrink and it looked just better. And I will say that if I'm eating calf's liver, then the effect is much stronger than if I am eating a chicken liver. So why do I eat chicken liver? Well, I do that because it does not have that strong a taste, and the taste is quite an issue for me with a calf's liver. And I would say if you were eating ox liver, it might be even more of a problem, but ox liver would work even better than calf's liver. So that is something that you could think about eating maybe once or twice a week, or maybe more, just in a period, an upstart period, and then you could see how your skin responds to that. If you are already on Accutane, you should not do that because you are risking getting too much vitamin A into your body, and that would maybe not be such a good thing. So that is one thing you could think about doing. What else? Well, I do get asked about how people should take care of their skin, because when I say that they're using when they say they're using Accutane, then immediately I say, well, then your skin is very dry. So now it is even more important that you start to have a good routine for your skin. And I think that most people that are suffering with issues of acne, they will say they have tried everything, absolutely everything. And even that when I was younger, had just the occasional pimple now and then, I did still have some issues where I just, tried anything, like really stupid things in order to get rid of that tiny pimple, or those 10 of them, or whatever it was. And so, yes, I have had my fair share of issues with that, but I have not had kind of like full-blown acne. That is not what I'm saying. But what is important when you are doing Accutane is that you are moisturizing your skin. And here we are really talking about you really need to moisturize your skin. You should not use any sort of harsh chemicals on your skin. You should not use something that will strip your skin even more of the oils that your skin is supposed to produce. So what would I say you should do? Well, if you're wearing makeup, then the first thing I would do is I would use a micellar water, and I like to use the one from Simple. It is their water boost version. And what I do is I simply take a microfiber cloth, and then I take a little corner, just like that, and then pour a liberal amount of the micellar water on it, and then you hold it onto your eyelids for a little while so that it has a time to work on your eye makeup, particularly on your eyelashes if you are using a liner or something like that. That will help you in the next step, because it will take the worst of the stuff off. So could you just take the micellar water all over your face? Yes, you could do that, but I would just say just try and do it on your eyelids to begin with, and that way you take the worst of the eye makeup off. So what else would I do after that? Well, then I think it's time to go in with something like Johnson's baby oil. And there will be people saying that, oh, using oil on acne-prone skin, that is just a big no, 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 no. Well, the thing is, you need to dissolve the makeup if you are using a makeup, and something like a mineral oil is something that is very gentle on your skin. You could use a vegetable oil also, but there you are running the risk that there might be something in that oil that you would be allergic to. So something like Johnson's mineral oil is something that you can use on your skin. I mean, yes, if you have a perfume allergy that is really problematic, then this does have perfume in it, just so that you know. So you just take a liberal amount of it, you smear it into your entire face, and yeah, you can give yourself a face massage as well, like up and out, up and out, up and out. And then when it is really just like a big mess, then you go in with your microfiber cloth again, and this time you are, I mean, what I would say is that before you do that, actually, I would take a little bit of a paper towel and just gently take the worst off. I would not go in too rough. I would just take the excess oil off, because you don't want to have some paper towel that you are annoying your skin with. That is not what you would like to do. So after that step, you will take a microfiber cloth and you will dip it into lukewarm water, and you will just gently go over your face again and again and again, and that way remove the excess oil. Will there be a little bit of oil left? Yes, there will be a little bit of oil left. Is that a good thing? Yes, that is a good thing, because that will help your skin retain the moisture that already are in the skin. So the whole point about caring for your skin is that you don't want to strip it from oil so that the water in your skin will evaporate too much. So what else would I do after that? Well, just one thing to say: if you really can't live without something that is foaming on your face, then I would use the micellar water face gel from Simple as well, and that works basically just like this. It's just like in a gel form instead, and I would say it works really nicely on the skin. I don't use it every day at all. I just use water on my face and a microfiber cloth for those days where I'm not wearing makeup, and most days I do not wear makeup. I just do it occasionally, and there I would go in and do this as I just told you. So what else would I do? Well, the issue with acne-prone skin is that the pores are clogging up. So one thing you can do is that, and which will help you in several ways, is to use a product with lactic acid in it, so an AHA. That will gently exfoliate your skin, depending on what sort of AHA you are using. But here I'm talking about a lactic acid, and that is gentle on your skin. So what happens is that another benefit of the lactic acid, apart from that it will declog your pores, is that it will actually stimulate something in your skin called keratinocytes to produce ceramides. So it will encourage your skin to produce its own ceramides. Why would you like to have your skin produce ceramides? Well, you would like to have your skin to produce that because it will improve your moisture barrier. So the better your moisture barrier is, the less water will evaporate, and the less water that evaporates from your skin, the less sebum the sepocytes will produce. So the sepocytes is another cell in your skin, and that is producing, or they produce sebum. So the thing is that if you are lacking moisture in your skin, if the moisture barrier is compromised, then your skin will start to compensate by producing a lot of sebum, so that the sebum can keep in moisture in your skin. So really what you would like to do is that you would like to stimulate keratinocytes to produce ceramides, and that way strengthen the moisture barrier, so that you are avoiding that your skin starts to overproduce sebum. Now, how can you produce ceramide in your skin naturally? Well, I have another video about that, so we're not going into details about that in this video here, and you can see the other video up here. But what happens is that when ceramides are produced, then it affects your moisture barrier, and it becomes much better. So as you can maybe see now, that if you are taking a drug like Accutane, then it is very important that you are stimulating your body to produce ceramides. So if you are struggling with a very dry skin after using Accutane, then doing as in the ceramide video, and doing as I have just told you about your skincare routine, that should help you get a much better skin much more quick. And if you are not on Accutane, well, then definitely try these things first, because then you will see how your skin will actually react if you are giving your skin the best conditions. So it is a good idea to try and get your skin to have the best conditions before you try something like Accutane, which has a lot of side effects. So what will you do after I just as I explained here, using lactic acid on your skin? Well, what I would do after that, I would go in, if it is at night time, I would go in with something like lactic crème concentré from Embryolisse, and that is a very thick cream, so you should just use that in the night time. And again, if you're thinking that you already have an oily skin, so you don't want something greasy and oily on top, well, the key in order to make your skin produce less oil is to make sure that it doesn't feel that it needs to produce a lot of oil. And what that means is that you need to put something oily on top of your skin. So this one here, you can use, it will make you look very shiny, so use it only in the evening. What would I use in the daytime? Well, in the daytime I would use the other version from Embryolisse, and that is the lactic crème fluide. So that is a much more less thick cream. And what I would do in order to give a little bit moisture, a little bit more moisture to your skin, is to use a product from Simple, which is called the Hydrating Booster. And I have spoken about this one as well in another video, and I will link to that up here. I just take a little pea-size dot, and I mix it into the cream that I'm putting on top of my face. So that way you will really boost the moisture content in your skin, and that is really what you would like to do. So how can you use lactic acid? Well, there are various options, and one of the cheaper options is to use something for a product from The Ordinary. I have not used the product myself, but I have just noticed that it is a lactic acid serum with either 10% or 5% of lactic acid. And I think there is hyaluronic acid in it as well, or sodium hyaluronate. And I think one of them has vitamin B in it as well. But it is mainly for the in order to use lactic acid that you should try a product like that. And why do I not use a product like that from The Ordinary? Well, that is because I make my own serum, and it looks like this. And that is just a bottle that I have from a travel kit. And in there I mix what is a 2% lactic acid solution. And how can I do that? Well, I have bought lactic acid from a food supplier, and they are called Special Ingredients, and it looks like this, and you can find it on Amazon as well. And they have their own webpage, and all these things you can basically find on Amazon. So it is 2 grams of this in 100 milliliter of water. That is the very simple way of doing it. But I do have another acid in this bottle as well, and that is a amino acid, and that is called L-carnitine, and that is in the form of acetyl L-carnitine. So that is a different acid. It is basically a BHA, so a beta hydroxy acid. as a difference to the AHA, which is an alpha hydroxy acid. So it is a milder acid than the AHA, but what it does, particularly when you're using this amino acid called L-carnitine, is that it will help your skin to reduce the amount of sebum that it is producing. So how does it do that? Well, it is not really quite understood how that works, but in general, L-carnitine is used in the body in order to shuffle a long fatty acid into the mitochondria in order to break it down to produce energy. But what happens when you are using a 2%, and I use 2% of the L-carnitine in this solution as well, and what it does is that it is helping your skin to not produce too much sebum. And another thing that it actually does, which is very helpful if you have a dry skin, is that it is also a humectant. So if you take L-carnitine and you leave it on the kitchen counter, you will find that the next day it is very sticky, and yeah, and that is because it has taken up moisture from the air. So that is something that needs to be kept in a tight container, because else it will start to go soft and soggy. So yeah, that is another thing you can do. And will I tell you how I make this particular serum? Yes, I will do that in another video, and there you will see that there are actually another AHA in here as well, and that is something called a tartaric acid. That is a much milder AHA than the lactic acid, and usually it is used in order to stabilize the pH. So the pH of this product here is actually relatively low. It is about 2 on the pH scale. So that is about the same pH as a vinegar, just to compare it to something. So that is a little bit that you put in your hand, and then you smear it over your face like you would do any other serum before you are putting on your moisturizer. So yes, this should be something that should be helpful for people that are having acne prone skin. I would say if you try this sort of regime, I'm pretty sure you will find that your skin will respond very well to the way of doing a new skin routine. But there is something that you need to know, and that is if you are using AHA on your face, like a lactic acid, it will take a little time for your skin to adjust to it. So what could happen, and often happen, when people are starting to use lactic acid or another AHA, is that your skin will do something that is called a purging. And that means that as it adjusts to this new regime, then you might get some pimples here and there, and it might feel like it is actually getting a little bit worse. But your skin needs a little bit of time in order to adjust to using AHAs. And as I said, there is an lactic acid serum from The Ordinary, and that is 10%. And this is only a 2%. And I would say that is more than enough. I do not use it in order to combat acne as such. I use it in order to stimulate my skin to produce more collagen, because lactic acid also works in the way that it stimulates your skin to produce more collagen, so more bumpy and plump skin. And I really feel that it works for that. But I will talk about that in the video where I show you how to make this concoction here. Yes, if you have any questions, please contact me. Let me know in the stuff below. If you would like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell, and do all those things you must do in order to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye.